This is Rick Rule for the Rule Classroom, sponsors of the Rule Natural Resources Investment Symposium, held this year, July 7 through 11, in Boca Raton, Florida, or via live stream in the comfort and convenience of your own home. However you choose to attend, understand that we will provide you over 50 hours of intensive programming in only 4 days. Whether you attend live or live stream, you will have access to the conference recordings, which you will need because we will give you more information in 50 hours than you could possibly absorb in 50 hours. As part of that package, what we like to do is introduce all of our speakers and all of our exhibitors before the conference in pretty meaty interviews like the ones you're about to hear, so that you can allocate your time at the conference more efficiently. If you like what you hear in today's interview, we would encourage you to visit the company and reach out to the company even before you come to the conference, so that your time at the conference and after the conference is allocated more efficiently. Remember that you get knowledge from the speakers. You make money on the exhibitors. These interviews are where the rubber really meets the road. This is where you put the lessons that you learned at the Rule Classroom into practice with the company CEOs. Jean-Marc, after that long-winded introduction, thank you very much for your ongoing support of the Natural Resources Investment Symposium, and thank you for your efforts on behalf of exploration investors and speculators in the province of Quebec for many years.
Thank you, Rick.
Tell us something about your background. We ask people to invest in people who have enjoyed success at the tasks that they are immediately employed in. So tell us something about your background, particularly exploring in Quebec, and how you became where you are today.
Very, very simply and shortly, my hardcore expertise is mineral exploration. I have a passion for mineral exploration, to go from the known to the unknown. Exploration is really what I like the most. By background, I'm an exploration geologist with a PhD in economic geology, earned in France. You can recognize that with my strong accent. No mystery about that. I have an international experience in Europe, in Africa, especially in Burkina Faso. I moved to Canada, to Quebec in 1985, and I started to be involved in the Abitibi belt. And I believe I have a Quebec scale background and experience of mineral exploration at the scale of Quebec. I have been involved during my career in several large discoveries, including discoveries made by Azimut over the past few years. We are agnostic. I am agnostic in terms of mineral exploration. We try to do our best to be successful in a tough challenge. Mineral exploration is a tough challenge, and we try to take the best approach as possible to be successful. In one or two words, we are I'm a technically driven geologist.
I had the good fortune to be involved in some of your early success in Africa with Channel Resources. But let's move from Africa to Quebec, because that's where you are now. Obviously, you're French-speaking, which helps. But tell us something about both the mineral endowment of Quebec, in particular the Abitibi, and tell me, too, something about the political regime in Quebec and its support for the exploration and mining business.
Yes, very, very clearly, if we view the Quebec on a world scale basis, the mineral potential endowment is one of the best. We have a very large part of Quebec, which is formed by Archean rocks, which are very prolific for different mineral deposit types, especially gold and base metals deposit. Saying that, Abitibi has an outstanding track record of discoveries. It's one of the most prolific regions in the world for gold and for base metals. Saying that, the remaining part of Quebec is incredibly huge, large, and it is still largely underexplored. One key competitive advantage of Quebec, it is covered by an outstanding digital database, which help us to have an edge against risk. We have better ways. We can be more efficient by using this digital database to uncover previously unrecognized targets. Abitibi is quite a mature region. The easiest discoveries to be made have already been made, saying that there is still a huge potential. But by moving up north, we are opening new regions which may represent comparable potential compared to the Abitibi belt. And it's the reason why, as an exploration company, we are very likely interested in looking for underexplored regions having a comparable potential compared to the Abitibi belt.
Some of the people listening to this broadcast would have been former clients of mine when I was in the brokerage business, and those clients would have participated in the gigantic Malarctic drill-off and also the discovery at Eleanor by Virginia Gold. It's important to note that, as Sean Boyd said at our conference last year, the Abitibi has developed and produced historically and in terms of present reserve and resources, about 150 million ounces of gold and silver, which is a comparable endowment to Northwest Nevada. So obviously Quebec, in terms of the people listening to this broadcast, is particularly known for gold. But it's also noteworthy that Quebec has yielded up some pretty spectacular volcanogenic masses, sulfide deposits in the past. And as we learned with Eleanor, the less explored greenstone belts in the north, while perhaps not as prolific as the Abitibi, have yielded up some spectacular discoveries. So perhaps you could talk both to your efforts in other minerals and your efforts in terms of frontier exploration, and in particular, the provincial support by way of not just encouragement, but participation by the province.
Yes, in terms of potential, by moving north, like within the James Bay region, which is a very large region, 155,000 square kilometers. It's very, very large. It's about twice the surface area of Abitibi. Past exploration has been much more limited, but the geology is comparable, and there are still many, many unexplored targets available. And as a company, by processing on a systematic basis the database, we have been able to pick up probably a number of high potential targets, not only for gold, not only for copper, but we have also a large portfolio of lithium properties, and we still believe that lithium can be a good asset for us. And in addition, very good nickel targets as well. If you move to Ontario, the Eagle's Nest deposit is one of the examples that we are looking for on the Quebec side. We believe that there is a real potential to make significant nickel PG discoveries on the Quebec side of the James Bay region. To answer your other question, the support from the Quebec government is real. We have rebate in any exploration expenditures it has been recently increased to 40% of your exploration expenditures. We have also a favorable flow-through system, which allow us to finance with a premium. And this is certainly one of the best exploration financial support on a world scale basis for mineral exploration.
It's important to note, too, that your company, Azimut, is at least a hybrid prospect generator, meaning that you use your own familiarity with Quebec institutions and your familiarity with Quebec geology, and often attract other people to do the heavy financial lifting around drilling, which minimizes your dilution. If you could talk something about your success in attracting joint venture partners to do the heavy financial lifting and minimizing shareholder dilution, I think that's an important part of the story.
For us, this is one critical point. We try to reduce as much as possible the share dilution rate through time. Time doesn't mean 1 or 2 years. In our case, it means 20 years. We have been very successful in controlling the share dilution process through time, first by attracting numerous partners through joint ventures, through option agreements, through strategic agreements. We have signed 39 option or strategic agreements with 19 different companies, probably the best, counting for one of the best in the world. Tinto 5 times, Newmont 2 times, IAMGOLD 2 times, etc., etc. We have been partnering, or we're still partnering with Stockman, which is a governmental-owned exploration arm. And all of this is driven by the way we are acquiring a project based on a systematic processing of the database. We are generating credible projects, which can be of interest for major partners looking for our country knowledge, for our technical expertise in processing the data. They are saving time, and they are better addressing their own exploration risk by signing agreements with us. The second part, we have the ability to finance with a premium through the charity flow-through system, or to finance hard cash. We have been strongly supported by the Quebec-based financial institutions. They are almost our bodyguards. They are strong supporters. They believe in us. And through time, the risk is always present, but this led us to have a very consistent exploration strategy through time on make discoveries.
So to sum up, I think for our listeners, what we have is a team that has 3 decades of exploration experience in Quebec, firsthand knowledge of the geology, and also has the support of the provincial government, both by way of financial support and also database support. We also have a team that's been able to minimize dilution as a consequence of doing above market financings, premium rate financings in the flow-through and charity flow-through market. And as a consequence of that, has been able to minimize dilution to shareholders, which will maximize the benefit of any subsequent discovery. To the extent that this franchise in Quebec is of interest to our viewers, and to the extent that our viewers want to familiarize themselves with Azimut, even before the conference, who do they reach out to? Who do they learn more from? And how do they reach that person or those people?
It's very easy. I can be reached, of course. Or existing shareholder or potential shareholder can reach me anytime at our phone number. It's 450-646-3015 in Quebec. Or you can reach Jonathan Rousset, who is our Vice President Corporate Development based in Vancouver. You can reach him also anytime for any question you may have at the following number 604 202 7531, and feel free to call us anytime.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best possible answer. The buck stops with the boss. Either of those two gentlemen will be happy to take your call before the conference. I urge you to reach out to any exhibitor that you are interested in before the conference. Remember, at the conference, you'll only have 50 hours over 4 days, which is nowhere near enough time to evaluate all the opportunities that are going to be in front of you. Jean-Marc Lulin, thank you for your efforts on behalf of the mining industry and investors. And thank you in particular for your ongoing support of the Natural Resources Investment Symposium. It's been a pleasure to host you.
Thank you, Rick. Much appreciated.